What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex and I am a Black creative. If you guys are new here, welcome. Hey, this channel is all about Black creatives wanting to be creative, be Black, and also be wealthy. Speaking of wealth, I'm gonna talk to you guys about hustling on the side, y'all. I understand that not everybody here is a full-time creative, but I thought I'd give you guys a perspective and some tips on being a creative and working a job or finding a job as a creative. So just to let you guys know, I am a full-time creative. I've been a full-time creative for almost 5 years now, but before that I had, in my last job was actually a creative job, so I would still say that is a creative realm because that's literally all I was doing. But before that, I was freelancing before that, and then before that, I was working at American Apparel and freelancing, so I had a job on the side, and then before that, I was in college, so my God, that's been a long time. Yeah, so I have a little experience working with a job on the side. I also have a lot of friends who work jobs and are creatives as well, and I see things that they go through. And I thought I'd just accumulate all my knowledge about, being a creative and working a job together and give you guys 5 tips for creative side hustlers. Let's go. So a lot of people think that they really just have to like jump out and be a creative, or especially creative directors. They just want to like quit their job and like be a creative director. But sometimes it doesn't always work like that. And usually the people stopping you from doing that are bill collectors. And so I want you guys to still be comfortable, those who are working towards an exit strategy for their job, to still understand what their job can provide them. So my first tip would be to utilize your job's resources as much as possible. So regardless of if you work at a restaurant, a clothing store, some type of venue, you do lashes or hair and beauty, what does your job have that you can utilize in your creative career? So as far as American Apparel, we would get a lot of free clothes from American Apparel, not even gonna lie. I use that for shoots, but they were also like very flexible as far as time, and which we'll get into later, but I use a lot of clothes from them. My old job as a creator, I use their studio, I use their equipment, I use their computer resources, their software. I use a lot of their assets, okay? It was something that was even almost a problem because they had such great assets for me to use that when I left them, I was like, how am I gonna make up for all this great, amazing equipment and stuff? Like, I don't have this equipment on my own. I was producing content using this state-of-the-art equipment. If I left that job, I felt scared as to how I was going to make up for those assets. But it all came together, but the whole point is to use your job to your advantage. So if you work at a beauty supply store, you get cheap beauty supplies. I have a friend who used to work at a photo camera store, and he would shoot a lot of film, and guess what? He got film at a discount. So don't just knock your job for being your job, like use it to your advantage. Even if you work at a freaking call center, like you may have after hours and you may need a music video or something in an office, or you want to shoot a show based on an office setting, boom, you got cubicles. So just be very creative when it comes to your job and what you can use. I am not condoning stealing office supplies. I'm not saying I've never done it, but I'm not condoning that. So just be very honest with your job, and most of the time they will be very open for you to use their resources. Tip number 2 is really geared towards people who may have been freelancing full-time and then want to add a job. I will say that if you are looking for a job to pick up, this tip will help you a lot more, and that's really to find a job or to structure your already existing job in a way where you can control your time, or is very flexible, but I would just recommend you be able to control your time. And what do I mean about when I say that? So basically, like, I know people who work waitressing jobs, and sometimes waitressing jobs or waiter jobs, every week you have a new schedule, and you may get called in, or you may not be able to find someone to cover you when things come up. It's a very like time consuming and time harboring job. You don't really know if you're gonna be free next Thursday. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to call off next Thursday for a meeting that you have with somebody, or you can't like step out of your job to take a phone call or anything like that. So find you a flexible job. What I actually did when I worked at American Apparel was to set my hours like the same every week. So I was like, I'm working Monday through Friday from 4 to 6, or you know, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. those days only. Like I know I'm gonna work those days, and I know for sure I'm not gonna work the other days. I would also say a job that's based on merit or based on, you know, how many units you sell or something like that is way more beneficial than a job based on your hourly work. I really hate hourly based jobs. I think that it's like slave work. But if you must get it, I would say set your hours, you know, that you know you're gonna work, so that if you have a meeting that you wanna schedule with someone, you know exactly when you're free. If you wanna be on set or start getting on set more, you know exactly when you're free. Because the worst thing to do in the media industry, in the film industry, or any industry really, is to promise somebody that you're gonna be there, you're gonna meet them or something, and you're serious about your craft, and then the day before you say, hey, my job told me I can't go. They like, look, your job, I do not care. You, like, don't even mention your job as an excuse, because we get it. Like, it's probably a valid excuse, but we don't want to hear it because we've worked so hard to not have a job. So you saying that your job won't let you is like not anything anybody wants to hear. Yeah, so find you a job that is gonna be flexible, find you a job that's gonna have steady hours, or find you a job that's based on, you know, your rate of sales or something like that versus your actual hours. So like you hit a quota, you might be done early or something like that. Step 3 is a really big one. I should have made this number 1, but step 3 is a really big one that I like to talk about, and that is understanding your mindset and having the right mindset for this. So if you are a full-time employee wanting to be a creative, or you're a creative wanting to pick up another job, you need to understand that at some point, because you are an entrepreneur, you're getting money from multiple places, you will have to work overtime. And this is something that you're gonna notice is going to be very hard when you see people like your coworkers who don't really necessarily have the same goals as you, and after work they are going home and going to their families and watching TV and talking about it the next day, about the documentary that they watched all night, while you stayed from 6 to 9 p.m. at work doing something else, working on your other craft, and didn't get any sleep last night, and also woke up early to go mail some stuff that you had to do for the government for your business, and then get to work late, and then you're stressed out, and then they're talking about the documentary that they binge watched last night. So I just want to say, understand that you are going to be working double, triple time. It's not going to last forever, but it is something that you will have to clock out of work and go to work, and that is part of the process. So when you're tired, when you feel like it's unfair, have your why. And I have this as far as a video, like, what is your why? Understand why you're doing this, and that's going to be the fuel to get to where you want to be. Another tip is something that I wish I would have looked into a lot earlier, like years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have quit my job. And that tip is to find a way to get work done while you're working. So try to find a way to automate a lot of what you do. So whether that's sending out promotional emails or text messages, or posting, maybe you need to pay for a posting app on Instagram or something like that, that's gonna be putting in work while you're not there. A big thing for this, a big way to get this tip down, get a business partner. I know a lot of new businesses feel like, oh, we don't want to expand or whatever, but there's like-minded people who want to be involved in something. Not everybody is a leader like you are. Some people are really good at following, and I don't want to say leaders and followers, but some people are really good at supporting people, and some people are good at pushing it to the next level. So find you a good support system, find you people or an assistant who wants to put in the work, has the time that you don't have, and can get it done. I will say, in my real estate investing business, my business partner does a lot of the stuff that I can't do because I'm tired or working or moving to a new city, and he does, and he will let me know, hey, I did this, and then I do things that he can't do, and then I'll say, hey, I do this, and we get so much more done in less amount of time versus me just doing it all on my own. And the last thing, and this really helps reinforces tip 4, but the last thing would be to compartmentalize your time. And when I say this, I mean this. Don't jump. So sometimes, like, I had this problem a lot, I still have this problem, when I'll work on something, I'll be working a project, and then I'll have like this little side project here that I just like jump on over here, and then I'll have like this project over here that I'll like jump on over here, and then I'll jump over here, and then I'll like make a note over here, and then I'll be like, ooh, I gotta send this, da da da, and then like 20 minutes later, an hour later, I didn't get anything done. And I'm freaking exhausted. Now I wanna go home. I feel like I did all this work and I was running on a hamster wheel and I wasn't going anywhere. So I would say, if you want to feel more accomplished and not just work on your things on your side hustle at night, I would say, number 1, you can set out a lunch hour in the middle of the day. A lot of us work from home. We can set out that time, eat lunch while you're working on your craft, so you don't have to spend as much time in the afternoon. But stop everything you're doing and just focus on that. Or you can do it early in the morning. Wake up early in the morning, just knock out one task, one email, one something that you can say, okay, cool, I did this, I only focus on this. Do it, I say lock in for an hour and just knock it all out, focus for an hour. I have a video of me locking in for an hour too. If you guys wanna look at that, I'll link it somewhere in this video. But that's a good tool to just like set a timer, work for an hour, and don't focus on anything else. And then when you're done with that, then jump to the next task. You don't want to be, it literally wears your brain out to like jump from task to task. Anyway, you guys, I hope this helps. If you guys have any more questions about working a job and being a creative entrepreneur, comment them down below. Check out the rest of my videos where I talk about creative entrepreneurship and making money as a creative, which is the same thing. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.